What's going on, guys? PixCam20 back again with a brand new video. You already know what it is. Manufacturer Cup Series racing at the Autodromo de Interlagos here at Brazil. And you can see the beautiful trophy here. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this was not one of my best races. You guys are gonna see why this was probably one of my worst races that I've ever ran. Well, first of all, it begins with this. We're getting ready to do our qualifying lap. You see some cars coming behind us, and we just get punted right before we get on with the flyer. So you can see right down here we have damage on the engine, on the rear, and on the front bumper. So our lap was basically ruined from this point, and we weren't able to get a good qualifying lap. So as you can see here, we are starting all the way back in 20th position. So this is my only race I was able to run today, and luckily it happened to be the very last race of the day. So this is my one and only try to get some points in for the Manufacturer Cup. So yeah, so we decided to come in here, coming into the first turn, and we are able to make a good overtake heading into the Estocena. And so coming out of here, we're able to get 19th place. So this race, again, it's just a do or die type of race. We either try to make up as many positions as we can without taking out many people, because that was my biggest issue, was trying to pass as many people as we can. As you see, someone actually gets taken out there, so we move up to 18th. 16th actually gets a penalty, so we're able to pass him, and we're right behind the other 16th place car. We bump him a little bit, but he gets pushed up a little bit up to 15th. He makes contact with 15th, and 15th actually gets a penalty. Oh no, 14th gets a penalty. So yeah, we try to make a move on the inside here, coming into turn number 8 underneath 16th, and we're heading into turn 9 here as we head into Pico de Pato. And so we try to make a dive inside onto 16, coming into his right-hander. We aren't able to make it. So again, this is just a do or die type of race, so we got to make up as many positions as we can. As we started on the softs on this race, you're required to run all through the compound, which is soft, mediums, and hards. So yeah, coming into the end of lap 1, you see the 2 cars actually coming to the pits to get off of the hard. So I think the strategy here was to just run the hards for maybe a lap or 2, and then coming in and running the softs and the mediums throughout the race. I just kind of took a guess at it and stabbed with the dark, because I really did not know the strategy here, as I only got about 20 minutes of practice. As we dive into the inside of 13, we actually make contact with him and are able to make the position. I'm really sorry about that move. It was a very aggressive move, but it just braked very late heading into that turn. Not something I usually do. Again, this is probably the dirtiest I've ever raced in my entire GT career, which has only been like 6 months, but still, it's probably the dirtiest I've raced, just because I was already very upset about qualifying, and it was the only race that I was able to perform for the day. So this is the only one I can get some points in for the championship. So we're heading into lap 3 here, and we're heading into the middle sector of Autodromo, and you see we're behind 12th place here. So we're trying to make a move on the inside, think twice, back out of it, and not push it too much right there, as we don't want to push 12th place out of the way and risk getting a penalty, or even just risk making another enemy that we haven't already made. As you see, 11th place actually gets a penalty, so that's going to help us here in the long run, as we're going to be able to catch up to him and possibly overtake him on the penalty zone as we head into the very last corner. And we actually send it in very deep, and we get the position. Awesome overtakes, looking like Daniel Ricciardo there. He would be proud of that overtake, as he would lick the stamp and send it just like we did. So as we head into lap 4 here, and we're done making ridiculous puns, we see actually 2 cars coming out onto the grass area, both getting taken out, and it's what's his name, R-rated RX, I don't know, R-rated, I guess, is the one that takes out United States. And so you don't hear that often, but yeah, we bump into the back of him, and we try to make a move on the inside, coming to the very last turn. Oh, send it in again, and we get another position, move all the way up to 10th place. Thank you very much. Again, Daniel Ricciardo would be proud of that, and so would Senna. He would be very proud of that too. As he said, if you saw the gap, you take it. So yeah, heading down the front straightaway, and we actually gain another position as someone comes into the pit, and we're getting challenged from the outside as we head to the Estocena, and heading into the left-hander here, We're still getting pressure from behind us. He's going to get into our slipstream and try to make an overtake down the straightaway here as we try to cover him up, but we see the car coming out of pit road there, so we have to mind him, and then we just bring it all the way to the inside, keep the position there, brake very, very early, get a little bit of a tap right there, push us up a little bit, and that was successful defending as we jump into 6th place here. Again, the same thing, we're getting trying to get overtake from the outside as we head into the Estosena, and we're heading to the long left-hander here, and we're going to try to attempt the same thing that we did last time. Is we get kind of a bad exit here, but we try to keep it to the inside as the guy behind us is getting into our slipstream, pulls off into the inside. We're unable to do anything about it, but he thinks twice about it before he goes into this turn. Again, bumps us again. He's probably getting frustrated because we're not able to give him any position. As he actually gets a 4-second penalty for that bump, and there you go, GT Sports penalty at its finest right there. You give him the person in front of you a little bump, doesn't affect anything, and you get a 4-second penalty. So at this point, I was feeling very, very naughty with myself because I felt bad that I gave him a 4-second penalty. But at the same time, I really didn't do anything. I just held my line, and he was the one that ended up with the 4-second penalty. So we jump into lap 6 here, heading into lap 7, and we actually forget to put it onto tires, so that wastes about 2 to 3 seconds right there. That's going to hurt us and bite us in the back as the race progresses further. As you can see, we are coming out all the way back in 13th position here as we jump onto the mediums, or the hards. And so we brake right before the 50-meter board, and we actually go a little bit wide as we head into the green area and lose a little bit of time. But in doing that, I believe we get a penalty. Yep, we do get a penalty just for running a little bit wide but still losing time, which again, GT Sport, please fix your penalty system. This is ridiculous. I go out wide, I hit the green curb, I don't gain any time on anybody, I actually lose time, and I still get a penalty. It just makes, I don't know, I just have lost for words for the penalty system right now. It's just so ridiculous. And so that's enough of me bitching about the penalty system as we head into the fast forward here and headed into lap 8. We actually jump into the pits because we have a penalty, so might as well just get off these hards and jump onto the mediums since we got to use all 3 compounds. Jump into our pit stall here, jump into the mediums, and we actually are going to put in a little bit of gas. As you see, we're only 3.5 laps left with fuel, so we go up a little bit. I believe we pull it all the way up to about 8.5 laps of fuel left, and so that's where we get it at. Coming out of the pits, we'll see when we're going to be at. It says 20th position, but we were able to stay at 19th as we jump into lap 9 here. Jumping into lap 9, again, we just lose concentration as I'm very, very frustrated with all the mistakes I've already made and the penalty that had us serve. And we actually lose another position going down to 20, and we actually gain another penalty as I tried my best to not make any time cutting through that green, through the green curbing. As we see right here, 18th and 19th actually get into the wall and actually keep colliding into each other as 19th goes into the pit stop. But again, yeah, we try doing everything we can to get into the Estosena and not gain any time in the car in front of us, and we still get a 1-second penalty, so we serve the penalty. Somehow we're in 18th position as we are still in the medium tires as of lap 11 here, and we're heading towards the end of the Estosena and heading into this straightaway here as we head into, I believe this is what is this, turn 4, passing the penalty zone, braking right after the 100-meter board. Get an early entrance as we see right behind us. We're actually getting pressured, running a little bit wide, lose a little bit of momentum coming out of the exit as we're still getting pressured here. Try to force him off to the right hand side. He's going to get a look on the inside here as we kind of just give it to him here as we are losing grip on our mediums here. He's got the inside coming into turn 8, and he gets the position done right here as we just let him get by and not force the issue and not lose any more time that we already have. So jumping into, I believe it's going to be the, let's see right here, 12th lap. There you go. We jump into the 12th lap here, heading to the straightaway, and we try to get behind the slipstream. The softs you can run for about 5 to 6 laps, so I decided to just get onto pit road here and just switch it off to the softs as we see other people are starting to chuck the softs onto it as well. And we also need a little bit of fuel, so we're going to chuck on the softs and put a little bit of fuel in here and just see if we can try to make any more positions up at the end of this stint here for the last final 6 laps that we have going on. So we actually get a drop in the safety rating, so that actually kind of got me suspicious, thinking that I did something wrong before we came into the pits, but I couldn't recall anything I did bad. So we come out of pits here, and we try to see what position we're in, but we actually get a penalty here, a 5/10 penalty for I don't know what. So I want you guys to please comment down below to tell me what I did wrong here, as we're gonna actually show you what I did before coming into the pits. So I come into the pits, maybe run a little bit wide, but still I've been doing that all the entire race, and I get a penalty for that. So yeah, fast forward here into lap 16, and just very frustrated with all the penalties I received and just everything that's been going on in this race, as we're all the way back in 19th. But I'm not quitting. I want to see if I can try to still make up at least the top 15, which is terrible in my books. If you're running a manufactured cup FIA race, you do not want to be having your goal set at 15th. But since we are in an AS lobby, it's very difficult to make up positions on this type of lobby, especially if you're a fast driver, because everyone else is fast too, so everyone's on the same level and they know how to race really well. So it's very difficult to overtake on these types of races. So gaining even just 4 or 5 positions, that's a huge accomplishment in my book if you're racing in a top level race for the FIA Cup. So anyways, yeah, enough of me ranting as we head into lap 17. We make a dive bomb into the inside of turn 1, almost hit 16th position, but we don't. Keep it clean, and we make a tremendous, that is what, the 3rd dive bomb that we've done in this race. I gotta start making a counter or something whenever we do these races to see how many dive bombs we do. Head into the last lap, we actually make contact with 16, as again, that was my fault. Just let him get through here. He's got a 5/10 of a second penalty, so all I have to do is stay behind him, and we can probably pull an overtake as we head down the straight and heading into the penalty zone. We head towards the penalty zone. I stay in the slipstream, pull out a little bit just in case he breaks ahead of me, and you see him break right there, and we are able to gain 16th position. As we start heading further into the lap here, we're starting to get pressure from behind, and we see 3 cars right behind us who are on fresher tires than us, as we're struggling on the softs here, as we've been running on these softs for about 6 laps now, and you can see on the bottom left that they are very worn. So we're just hanging on here to try to just stay in 16th for this race. Heading into the final time into the second sector, we're heading into the right-hander right here. As we see behind us, actually some chaos ensues, as I think 17th got pushed back to 18th, and now 17th has a penalty. And we also see a yellow flag. 15 actually runs wide and spins it out into the grass, so we're able to gain another position here. So we're up to 15th after a horrible 17 laps that we've had during this race, and we're gonna probably pull off of 15th position win here, as I don't know what happened to 15th there that made him spin out and to go into the barriers. As we're coming into the final time into the front straightaway, we're gonna cross the line in 15th as we spin it out, and actually we get a 14th because I believe that one of the guys ahead of us actually did not use all 3 of the compounds, so he gets a 21 second penalty. So that bumps us up into 14th. Thank you very much. Again, not my finest races, but I'll take a 14th after starting 20th and getting all those penalties. So yeah, very sorry about the type of video this was. I never want to race like this, but again, like I said, it was a do or die situation, and I just needed to push as best as I can to try to make up as many points as I can. Hopefully next race on Sunday will be a little bit better and a lot more cleaner, and you guys won't have to see this side of me. There's just a very aggressive side. Anyways, if you guys really liked the video, I hope you guys subscribe, leave a like down below, really helps out the channel. Leave a comment down below if you guys want to comment about how terrible my driving was and how bad I kept overtaking people and bumping people out of the way. Trust me, I'm all for the comments right now. I'm very sorry about the way I raced, but I just had to race very aggressive on this race. 14th position is not too bad, but I wish we could have done better, especially with the qualifying. But I guess we'll just have to wait till next Sunday. And yeah, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.